I just watched Vivarium for the first time, and I need to talk about it. And I will be spoiling this movie, so swipe away if you want to watch it. This movie follows a young couple, Gemma and Tom, who are looking for their dream home. They look at homes in this complex called Yonder, and the guy who shows them, Martin, is very strange, but he assures them that these homes are being snatched up very quickly. When they get there, all the homes look exactly the same. I mean, perfectly identical. They go inside, and Martin is showing them around, and suddenly he's gone. Just completely gone, his car is gone, there's no sign he was there. So of course, they try to leave, but they can't get out of the complex, no matter how long they drive. And their phones have no signal, and this goes on for hours and hours and hours. As they're driving, they don't see a single other person or another car, and they just have to stay the night. The next day, Tom climbs on the roof to look around, and all he sees for miles and miles is identical houses. They try to go 3 yards, and again there's no escape, and they keep ending up at one house, which is number 9. They even burn the house down, but the next day it's back and they're given a baby in a box and told that they need to raise it and then they'll be released. The boy is very creepy and clearly not human. He looks human, but he's like elementary age and less than 100 days. He has a super weird voice and he screams at the top of his lungs whenever he wants something. And they both hate him, but especially Tom. And the boy is watching, I think it's called fractals on the TV. So like these strange looping patterns. Tom gets fed up with him and tries to lock him in the car to starve him, but Gemma lets him out. At the same time, Tom has begun obsessively digging this hole, assuming that there has to be a bottom in wherever they're stuck in. He even sleeps in the hole sometimes. The boy disappears one day and returns with a strange book that has these really weird pictures and strange symbols. She tries to get info from the boy on where he was, and his throat begins to transform like one of the pictures that were in the book. It kind of seemed like the book was hinting at whatever they're in, or the goal of whatever they're in, but obviously there's no way of knowing what it really meant. The boy gets older again, like young adult age. Tom is still digging his hole, and it is super deep at this point, and eventually he finds a body in a bag. He's also really sick at this point. She tries to get the boy to get him medicine, but Tom dies, and the boy puts him in a bag and puts him in the hole. Gemma is grief-stricken and in her rage actually manages to hurt the boy when she attacks him. She chases him into this weird secret place that's actually under the sidewalk, and gets into other houses where there are other people and other boys. But she inevitably ends up back in her own. She too dies, and the boy goes back to where they were at the beginning of the movie, where Martin still is, but he's much older now. He takes Martin's name tag, takes his place and sits at the desk, and a new young couple walks in. And the movie ends right there with no explanation. So clearly whatever is going on here is a cycle, and a bunch of people are going through the cycle at the same time. I looked up what a vivarium was, and it's an enclosure for animals or plants, so like an aquarium or a terrarium. But who were they put here by? Is it aliens? Is it a government experiment? We'll never know. I was reading about this movie in the horror subreddit, and someone said it's about the cruel hell of parenthood, which, okay, sure. This movie left me with more questions than answers, but I enjoyed it anyway.